Hello everybody, I am back again with even more Five Nights at Freddy's content. As hard as I may try, the overwhelming force of autism inside me won't let me rest. So, I thought today I would take a look at one of my favourite characters from the whole series, good old Springtrap himself. And I'm going to review the different variations he's gotten over the years, and I guess rank them since I'm here. I might as well. Also, obviously, this is all my own opinion, so if you disagree with me, that's fine. But you're wrong, and I'm right. La 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 la. So before we waste any more time, let's get right into the video. And you can get right into whatever you're probably eating right now. First off is going to be the original Springtrap from FNAF 3. Oh boy, where do we start? Honestly, I love him. I love him with all my heart. Despite some of his flaws, for as long as I live, there will always be a special place in my heart and a large tumor in my brain dedicated to this green murder rabbit. Genuinely, I'm not sure even what to say about him. Springtrap is such a uniquely special character in FNAF. Not just because he is William Afton, but his design is unlike anything else in the franchise. It will never not be the coolest thing that his rotting corpse is actually inside of the suit. And not just that, you can see parts of him, but only glimpses. Only little bits of flesh here and some organs there. Just enough to keep your imagination running wild. I kind of think that's what makes him so special. I'll touch on this more when I talk about Scraptrap, but I think what makes him so perfect is your imagination. You take a peek behind the mask and sure, he's messed up, but the only time this is kind of shown in game is that one rare screen where his eyes bulge out of his skull cartoonishly. And I'm not going to beat a dead horse by talking about Scott Cawthon's human models. It's been done to death. But compared to some of his older models, I don't really think he did a bad job of Springtrap. Plus, you're not really supposed to see much of it anyway. The most obvious thing you could say about his design is the weird, fleshy, wrappy things around his feet. Sure, they are a little strange. But other than that, mwah, chef's kiss. In all, a beautiful design. I think even his flaws add to the design. Like, it's just him now. I can't critique him. He's perfect. I love him. Marry me! Easy S tier, don't even have to think about it. Next up is our short King Plush Trap. I suppose the most obvious difference with him is that there's no corpse inside of him. It's been a while since I read up on FNAF lore, so I'm not sure exactly what he is. I've asked a few people, and it's like a finger trap toy thing, but I'm not sure why he's green at all then, since why would they make a plush thing on Springtrap and not Spring Bonnie? I have no idea why, okay? For the sake of this video, I'm just gonna say he's a type of Springtrap, I guess. I don't know. All in all, not the worst. I feel like his head is a little bit too long, though his head is probably supposed to be bigger in general, given he's a plush version. So I'll let it slide. I'll let it slide this time. I think there could have been something different done with the eyes. They're a little bit bland, whereas Springtrap has these really cool eyes, though that could just, again, be him being a Springtrap's very hard to rank here, okay? But something I do surprisingly like is his jaw shape. I'm not sure what it is about it, but I feel like it really defines his snout more, little finger biter fella. But I quite like him. All in all, I've not got too much to say. I don't think I can really put him higher than B tier. Our next Springtrap is going to be the one from FNAF World. And just like Plush Trap, this one is again another variant without a corpse inside. This one is going to get marked down, however, because it is supposed to be Springtrap himself and not a plush version. I know he's supposed to be a cuter version though, but I still feel like there should at least have been some fleshy bits. I think the design still could have worked in FNAF World and been a good Springtrap design. Also, for some reason, he doesn't have the giant blocky feet anymore. I can't tell if I like it or not, but that's kind of strange. I think the worst part is a lack of withering on his body. I mean, maybe you could get away with the arms, but to have nothing on the chest? That's unacceptable. That's not great in my opinion. So, as much as I am a FNAF World fan, I am going to have to give this Springtrap a D tier. I'm sorry, someone's got to go though. Next up on the list is going to be Scraptrap. Order! Order! Settle down, everyone. This man is entitled to a fair trial. So sit down and shut up! Okay, so, Scraptrap. Look, I am just as guilty as anyone for making fun of Scraptrap in the past, but let's just take a deep breath and look, okay? Fair trial, so pitchforks down. Let's start with the things I like. I think Scraptrap does a better job with his fleshy bits, just as long as he keeps his suit on. The arm was a cool idea. I think it's always interesting to take big chunks off of animatronics. And I think those make the most popular ones, really, like Withered Bonnie and Mangle, for example. And it really does take balls to do that to your main villain. Like, just permanently chop his arm off. Okay, now that I've been nice, I'm going to get into the things that I personally don't really like. Okay, it's time for a rapid fire round. His ears are way too far back. I think the wires, especially around his legs, look a bit shoddy, a bit lazy. Like how they get that far out. He has weird fleshy bits on his feet themselves, but it's like the fabric part. So they're just like strings of flesh on top of his feet. His finger bones are messed up. They look like mini ice cream cones. It's been done to death, but good God, his head is fucking massive. I could land a plane on that forehead. He has exposed bony bits, which would be cool if those bony bits weren't, oh, I don't know, ears, lips, and a nose! Which, I don't know if you know, but they aren't made of bone, they're made of cartilage. His animatronic teeth look cool, though his real teeth look like little Tic Tacs. His eyes genuinely piss me off, because Springtrap's regular eyes look so cool, but Scraptrap has these stupid grey orbs. I hate them so much. For some reason, he has square pieces sticking out from his suit, especially on his chest. First off, how does that even happen? Like, was he modeled in Minecraft? Why is it so square? And the same goes for a lot of Withering too. It's so square for him for some reason. But you know what the worst thing is? Do you know what the worst thing about Scraptrap is? Ask me. No, seriously, ask. I can hear you. I'll tell you what the worst thing about Scraptrap is. The wasted potential. I genuinely think, if things had been done differently, I think Scraptrap could have been one of the best variations there is. And I really mean that. I really want to like Scraptrap. I've really tried, okay? I've tried and tried and tried to like him. And I don't care, S tier. It's my video, I'll do what I want. He gets S tier. I like him, okay? I love him. Despite his flaws, he's one of my favorites. I've got to, S tier. Fight me on this. I love him. Next is the, finally, it's the Help Wanted Springtrap. This one's been quite divisive between people, so I might split some opinions on this one. But me personally, I'm actually quite a big fan of this model. I think Stillwell did a really good job on this, which is a sentence I never thought I'd say, but here we are. I feel like he gets treated a little bit too harshly. I'm quite a big fan of the eyes. They have a little glow to them, which I really appreciate. Though there's a few things missing, like the wires sticking out of him, which is sad. And also, it kind of went easier on the fleshy bits, so it looks kind of bare bones. No pun intended. This is most obvious around the feet area, the best area. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about Springtrap's feet so much. No, I'm not. Lol. I've already got a troubled past with this character. Oh no. Also, his stomach is a pretty bare bones. That could definitely use some sloppy organ thing treatment. Though I suppose this model was kind of made with the Quest 1 in mind, so they might have left stuff out for memory or resource or whatever, but this is unforgivable. The wildest thing about him, though, is probably his right ear. I'm sure many of you know, but it's actually on backwards. I have no idea how they managed to do this, and I'm pretty sure they didn't even fix it. Also, I know his actual human head doesn't matter that much, but for some reason he's made out of grey sludge. Not like you'd notice it in game, but I just thought I'd mention it. And finally, he's made of some weird stone-looking material. Though I've always thought the Scott Cawthon fabric thing was weird anyway. It's got like veiny, weird texture thing. I don't know. But yeah, weird stone fabric-looking thing. All in all, yay! Me like. A tier, I suppose. Our second character from Help Wanted is a Spring Bonnie suit. Not actually used in game, but the model was found in an old build of Help Wanted, which is sick. Until this model came out, we didn't actually have a good official look at the Spring Bonnie suit outside of 8-bit minigames and things like that. I really like him. I'm not going to have too much to say about Spring Bonnies in general this tier list, because I'm not really sure how to rank them in relation to Springtrap. Also, this model was, again, never used, so take anything I say with a grain of salt, since it could have been changed, but I don't really have anything else to go off, so Firstly, he's made out of that metallic texture that a lot of the animatronics in Help Wanted, and also FNAF AR, tend to be, which I never understood. For most animatronics, I think they look way better and honestly more realistic to have fabric on top of the robotics, underneath, rather than have a full, expensive metal casing. I briefly touched on something like this in my FNAF Banshee video. If you want to check that out, I'll make sure to link it at the end, so you can watch that after this video if you would like to. Please. Anyway, yeah, I'm not a big fan of the metal look. I've done a little research into it, and it seems like Spring Bonnie is always a fuzzy boy, rather than a metal beast. So that's that. I think the eye rings also look kind of weird. They are on Springtrap, but I assumed they would be behind the eyes in the robot model, but that's fine. In conclusion, I really love this model. It's so cool we get an official representation of the iconic Springlock suit, and for that, I'm giving him an S tier. And last but not least of our Help Wanted cast is Glitchtrap. Well, Glitchtrap is definitely interesting. I really like his buck teeth and his eyes that can't really look directly at you no matter how hard he tries. Poor thing. I'm gonna be honest, I've never been the biggest fan of Glitchtrap personally. I don't know, I'll always just prefer Spring Bonnie myself. I feel like his nose is way too small. I never liked the whiskers. The worst part is those stupid giant eyebrows. It's not all bad though. I do like his purple bow tie and vest. I think I remember seeing similar things on some people's like stylized versions of Spring Bonnie, but I'm not sure if that was before or after Glitchtrap was a thing. I like the stitching all over the suit, which gives it that more realistic, handmade look. I really want to like him, but honestly, it just doesn't work for me. Maybe it's partly to do with the fact that he was so underutilized in the games. The whole thing around Security Breach era just had a terrible problem with making characters people wanted to see, and then just never using them. So that might be another reason I never really liked him. He also did get Dead by Daylight skin though, so there's that at least. Also, I'm not going to talk about every Dead by Daylight skin or FNAF AR skin. There's not much I can really say about them, though obviously I will talk about Springtrap himself. Oh, also, Glitchtrap C tier. I'm sorry, Glitchtrap fans. Next up is a Springtrap in FNAF AR. Unlike other characters in FNAF AR, he doesn't suffer the metal fate as a lot tend to. He doesn't look that metallic. And also I really love his eyes light up in his animations. That's really neat. I think they did a really good job with the Springtrap. Overall, the head shape and everything else just feels right. It just feels perfect. Though I feel like the bottom parts of his legs are way too dark. There's also this red stringy stuff in his big chest hole, which I always assumed were like guts, but they look way too bright in the AR model, so they could be wires. I'm not really sure. One thing I don't like though, which isn't really the model's fault, but I'm still going to talk about it. Some of his movements and promotional artwork, for some reason they extend his mouth really wide open, which would be fine if they didn't also extend the purple guy corpse jaw too. A lot of the time in FNAF AR, he's like, has an unhinged jaw, like a snake, which I always disliked. Though overall, I don't have any huge complaints. It's got its flaws, though, so I'm giving it an A tier. Next up on the list is going to be Burntrap, but I've been talking for way too long, and honestly could not care less about the guy, so I'm going to hand it over to my good friend Bloppy for this one.
What? Sorry, I was just rolling around.
What is there to say about Mr. Burntrap, Mr. Burntrap? He's slightly purple, his eyes glow purple, which has never been a thing. I don't know why they glow purple. He's crunchy. I want to take a bite in him. I want to bite on him. Yummy. Although he would electrocute me if I tried to bite him. He would probably, divorce me, but we were never married anyway, so it's fine. His design is really lazy. Yes, it is really lazy. It's just kind of Springtrap, but he's kind of lazy. And that is because he wasn't supposed to exist. Oh my god, conspiracy theory. Except it's not, because it's confirmed by the creator of FNAF. You didn't know that? Hahaha, you're faking you spell. It said in the interview, was to pull up a clip.
Well,
He was never meant to exist. He wasn't supposed to move. He was supposed to be like a background decoration / Easter egg. So his design is not good because he was not supposed to be good. But you know who should be good? West, when ranking the next ones. Thank you to West for letting me out of her basement. I'm so weak. I forgot to rank him. I would put him in D tier because I fucking hate him, and he can go, and he can go away from me, and he can stop texting me because we're over, you know. Me and Burntrap, old thing. Which is what I called him that made him want to divorce me.
Thank you to Bloppy for that. If you want to go see her channel, I'll link it in the description. She is really cool. We have also done some FNAF-related collaboration things, so you can check those out if you would like to. On to the next Springtrap, though. Alright, we're getting into the last handful of Springtraps now, so let's talk about the FNAF movie Springtrap, or Spring Bonnie, I suppose. Overall, really solid design. I think it works with the FNAF movie's design changes. It feels right for Spring Bonnie, though I never really liked the black spots on his right side. I'm not really sure what those are from. They look like burn marks, like he got thrown into the void of space in an asteroid field and pelted with burning debris. But, yeah, I don't know. Also, I'm not the biggest fan of his weird robot hands. They do fix the problem of, like, how he gets his fingers in the suit. But also, maybe if they had some fabric on top of the metal, it would look a bit more natural. But I think it just stands out a bit too much with the color. It just kind of over-thingies it. He also has these weird pads on the bottom of his feet. I'm not sure if those are supposed to be there or not, since Springtrap doesn't really have feet, but they are a little strange to me. Again, I am sorry for talking about feet so much. I don't know why I did this. Aside from all that, I like him. He isn't my favorite, but I can't not like him either. It also definitely helps that he's played by Matthew Lillard, who I love so much. Also, I'm going to touch on the Dead by Daylight skin just for a moment. I both think it's cool and bad that they used Matthew Lillard's actual face for Spring Bonnie skin. I would have much rather preferred they did it like how U2's did, where you would get like Matthew Lillard's head or the Spring Bonnie head to choose from. That's just personal opinion, so you can have either or. Because I do wish I could play as like just this FNAF Spring Bonnie. It would be nice to get the option to choose between them. That's just personal opinion. All in all though, I'm gonna go with an S tier. And finally now we are at our last Springtrap of this video, the Dead by Daylight Springtrap. After years and years and years and years of people wanting him in the game, we finally got him! And oh, mwah, he is beautiful. At first, I was a little bit skeptical of how good the model would look, because I'm not sure why, but this promotional image never looked right to me. Like his head, I don't know. I think it's just a bad promotional image, honestly. But when he came out, wow. There's been a lot of changes to Springtrap to make him suit Dead by Daylight's mood more. Honestly, it works. I really love him. The main difference, I think, is the corpse inside the suit. I think they did a really good job basically giving him a full body this time, instead of all the weird fleshy globs, but I also love how they kept them around his feet. I don't know why I've talked about feet so much in this video, but just ignore it. The suit itself really gives off the vibe of gross, rotten fur, and oh, I love how they kept the weird vibe with the eyes and stuff. The only thing I can say I don't like about the model is his head shape in general. I'm not sure why. This is something I really tend to obsess about when it comes to Springtrap designs. Since the head being too long or too wide just doesn't look right to me. It needs to be perfect. I feel like his head is a bit too short and long, but I'm just kind of nitpicking. I think it's just me. I'm sure most people don't have this kind of problem with it. So all in all, really good Springtrap. Definitely the highest quality model we have so far, at least. Also, on the topic of Dead by Daylight in general, I am really excited to see what kind of skins we get for the future. I know there's been an endless speculation on skins for different killers, though What I'd like to see most is a Scraptrap skin for the game. That might be a little bit difficult with the missing arm, but I'm sure they could manage. And it would give Scraptrap a second chance at life. A second chance in the limelight. He needs that. Scraptrap needs his return. We need him back. Anyway, Dead by Daylight Springtrap gets an S tier easily. Though it is a bit of a shame, because, you know, Dead by Daylight sucks, lol. Anyway, that brings me to the end of this video. I think this is the first time I've made a video and haven't got sick of the topic by the end of it, so that surely counts for something. Also, in the making of this video, I've been getting all my Springtrap merch out and even buying more. I fear this video has only deepened my obsession with him, so I blame every single one of you individually. In the future, I wouldn't mind making a Springtrap merch tier list. I think that would be quite funny. And actually, I think there's a nice amount I can talk about with the Springtrap merch. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And if I've learned one thing from making this video, it's that I actually kind of love Scraptrap, which is something new. I think it's a shame characters like him really get neglected merch-wise. Like, I want to give you money. Let me buy your plastic and fabric, please. So with that, I'll say goodbye. Again, check out Bloppy's videos. We actually have a few collabs, again, if you want to check those out. So yeah, please comment, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. And goodbye, everybody! End card! This is the end card time! Click a button, any button! Click the Banshee button or the Bloppy button. Both buttons are good.